Could you comment on the defensive play today?
Yeah, I thought it was better. Obviously, we weren't giving up the odd man rushes we've been giving up in the first 3 or 4 games. I thought we were responsible. Played smarter, made better decisions in that regard. I thought, in turn, we lost a little bit of our aggressive puck pursuit in the offensive zone, so I think we've got to do a better job of finding that balance of being aggressive and pressuring the puck and not making bad decisions. So I think there's a happy medium we've got to reach. But, from that end of it, it wasn't the hectic first 2 periods you saw against San Jose.
Mika's line that draws a lot of its assignment against their pretty potent top line and Radiant as well. Can you just talk about how you thought they played?
I thought they played well. I thought they spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. I thought they did a pretty good job of neutralizing McDavid as much as you can. Mika had a real good night. Glad he got on the scoreboard. He's been working hard and not a lot to show for it offensively. But I thought those guys did a good job. I thought they managed the puck well against that line. You're going to have to do that against McDavid. It's going to be tough for him to create offense when you have it. So, you don't want to make hope plays in general, but you really don't want to make hope plays when he's out there because all of a sudden that's how his transition game starts, and that's when all the trouble begins. So I thought we did a good job of managing the puck with him on the ice.
Just how do you balance losing and playing a good game like this? Like, obviously you're happy generally with how they played, but not to get discouraged.
I wouldn't say I'm happy, but I was happy with some of the progress that we touched on in the first question. We got to score goals. We have to have more of a tenacity in the offensive zone. We have to have more tenacity offensively. Just because it appears someone might defend you, you have to earn your ice. You can't just concede that he's going to defend you, and I think we've got to get that into our game offensively, whether it be on initial rushes or whether it be in the offensive zone. And we've got to shoot more. We start a lot of breakouts with our shooting. We have to understand shooting and create opportunities for other people. I think those are 2 key elements if we're going to score more goals.
Well, 2 things, actually. Does the tenacity apply to the power play, too, do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's got to be a simplistic approach to a power play. We're a little slow, lethargic, and we've got to have more anticipation of what we're going to do with the puck before we get it. And that's what a power play is predicated on. We've got to do a better job of that.
And the second, why did you sit Pionk the second straight game?
I thought guys have been, I liked the way some of the guys playing. Shaddy was going back in. I liked Clausen's game. I mean, Pionk's going to play a lot of hockey for us. And, he and I have talked, and, I don't want to reveal our lineup the following night, but, our next game. But I mean, he's a guy that I like an awful lot, and he's going to play a lot for us.
Obviously, the result wasn't what you wanted, but how did you feel about how the team started today in the first period compared to the others?
I loved our first 10 minutes. I thought, we came out with energy. I thought we were responsible. Like I said, we spent time in the offensive zone. I thought, that goal they got deflated us a little bit because they didn't have a lot going on. And, again, that's part of the challenge of, having the record we have and being 1-3, and all of a sudden you're playing well and boom, it's 1-1. And I think that kind of swayed things a little bit. So, again, we have to manage the situation. We've got to continue to play no matter what happens, and I think we're learning that.
He looked very discouraged when he had that open net and he couldn't convert on that. What do you say to him after a play like that?
Well, there's not a lot to say. Obviously, he's a guy that's very gifted, and I got to get him more ice time. That's the first thing I think about when you mention his name. He's got to play more, and that's something that I'm going to be. Not that I'm not conscious of it anyway, but he's got to play more.
What do you think of Shattenkirk?
I thought he played pretty well. I thought he, nice bounce back effort by him. I thought he defended well. I thought, skating more, definitely a big step in the right direction.
Does playing more include the option of putting him on the wing?
Yes.